Hi there. Welcome to Level. Today I'm excited to share something that can truly transform your IT operations: automations. Imagine tagging a device with Office and having the software automatically installed, or setting up new devices instantly when they're detected. That's how easy Level makes automations. With automations, you can manage and execute tasks in bulk across all of your devices effortlessly. Whether it's routine maintenance, updates, or handling unexpected events, Level has you covered. Let's walk through how to create and run an automation. First, let's head over to the automation section and create a new automation. Next, let's configure your trigger. This is where the magic starts. You set the conditions for when your automation kicks off, like detecting a new device, group changes, or applying a specific tag. I'll choose applying a tag for this example. Let's say you want to install a series of applications whenever a device is tagged with Windows. We can configure that trigger in just a few clicks. Once your trigger is set, Level takes care of the rest. It's always watching for devices that match those conditions. Next, you define what actions should run when the automation is triggered. What makes Level truly powerful is the range of actions you can take. In this case, we're going to use the winget action to install Chrome. We can even chain several actions together to create sophisticated workflows. Let's go ahead and add another action to install Teams and Zoom. By splitting these into separate actions, if a device fails on a step, we can easily see where it left off and had issues. Also, just like with triggers, you can apply conditions to ensure actions only run on the right devices. Now we're all set up. This automation will automatically run when devices are tagged with Windows. Just a quick tip, automations work on offline devices too. If a device is offline, it's still added to the automation and is just queued up until that device comes online again, after which Level will run the automation. Let's create another automation to automatically tag our new devices. To do this, we'll select the new device detected trigger. And this means when a device is added to Level, this automation will run. Next, we'll set up an action to apply the Windows tag. Let's add a condition here to only apply this tag to Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices. Alright, now let's test this out. I'll add a new device to Level. Level will see this new device and trigger our default tags automation. This automation is going to apply the Windows tag, which will then trigger our automation to install our applications. Let's jump into the automation and watch the device run through this in real time. Here you have complete visibility into every action taken, with detailed logs and a complete history of your automation at your fingertips. Let's create another automation. Let's say we want to ask the user to reboot if their device uptime exceeds 30 days. No problem. We can do that with a monitor-based trigger. I won't focus on the trigger yet. Instead, I'll focus on the actions we need. In this case, we want to use the user approval action. This allows us to ask the end user a question like, is now a good time to reboot? We can then configure a prompt frequency, say every 60 minutes. And we can force compliant after so many attempts. Let's go with 3. So, in this case, Level will display a notification to the end user with our question. Level will continue to prompt the user every 60 minutes and will only allow the user to delay up to 3 times. Now, we need to add the restart action to actually restart the device. At this point, I can manually add devices to this automation and the user will be prompted to reboot their device. But that's not exactly what we want. I don't want to manually add devices to the automation, and I also only want the automation to run on devices where the uptime is greater than 30 days. To do that, we'll need to add a monitor for devices where the uptime exceeds 30 days. I'll start by creating an OS query script for this monitor. The neat thing about OS query is that it's cross-platform. It works on Windows, Mac, and Linux endpoint. Now that we have this script, let's go ahead and create a new uptime monitor. I'll add this to our global policy. We'll select Run Script and choose the OS query script that we just added. Next, we want to configure our monitor. We are looking for a script output greater than a value of 30. We'll check this every hour and configure the alert to auto-resolve when the threshold is no longer breached. Lastly, let's add the remediation automation here to kick off the end-user notification and eventual forced reboot. Now that I've added this monitor, we can already see several alerts have been created about devices exceeding our 30-day threshold. Let's pull up the automation. Here we can see these devices are waiting for the user to approve the reboot. If we pull up one of these devices, we can see the end-user notification and proceed or delay. With this automation in place, we can rest assured knowing our endpoints are restarted every 30 days. You can also use automations for routine tasks that you want to run on a schedule, like security checks, updates, backups, and maintenance. Here's an example of a weekly security check we run on our Windows endpoint. You can see we're running Windows Defender updates, scans, checking our smart disk health, administrative users, firewall configuration, and so on. With Level, you'll reduce manual workloads and streamline processes like never before. Let's make IT effortless. Thanks for watching, and happy automating.